Hey guys, it's Scott here from MoneyNerd, and today we're going to be taking a look at the actual step-by-step process that you need to follow if you want to get an IVA. But before we do, here's something I wanted to cover. IVAs are not for everybody. In fact, whilst they may be perfect for some people, for many people it's just not the right way to tackle debt, and it can actually even cause more issues. I wanted to be totally open and honest with you about that, and today we're only covering how to get one, so I don't suggest you all go out and Google "I want an IVA" right now and just start. Trust me, that would be a recipe for disaster. You need to know all of the pros and cons, as well as be 100% clear on how it might affect you. And just as a side note, we've got tons of videos on this channel about all of the benefits and issues with IVAs, so make sure you check them out before you go down that IVA route. With all that out of the way, let's start with why people want IVAs in the first place. An IVA can allow you to write off some of your debts and pay back less than you originally owe. That can be through one lump sum payment or through monthly payment plans that last 5 or 6 years. We've got lots of videos on details and how they actually work, and we'll link that in the description below. But for the sake of learning, let's assume 3 things. Number 1, you've got debts. Number 2, you actually qualify for an IVA. And number 3, you know beyond doubt that it's a good idea for you. That's a lot of assumptions, I know. Okay, so what's next? Well, setting up an IVA is a legal process, so you'll need to work with a registered insolvency practitioner who will help you put together an IVA proposal, manage all of the administration and oversee the IVA for its duration. After you've engaged the IVA practitioner, there are 4 main steps to getting an IVA. Number 1 is your insolvency practitioner will apply for an interim court order that stops any of your creditors from taking action against you whilst the IVA is being set up. This should be handled almost entirely by your insolvency practitioner, so it's not something you need to worry about, although it's worth checking that it's been done. Next, you and your insolvency practitioner will come up with a payment plan. The plan could be to pay back one lump sum or to pay back small installments. Your practitioner will look closely at all of your finances. This includes your income and your outgoings, as well as your savings and assets, and they'll be able to determine how it's best that you pay back your debt. One of the key benefits to an IVA, and one of the reasons most people opt for them, is that most IVAs include clauses on how your home and your assets are treated. It's normal to arrange that your home can't be repossessed as part of the repayment plan, or for example, if you own a car and need it for work, your IVA can also protect it from being sold. However, I do need to be totally clear, even though IVAs do allow you to protect some of your assets, it doesn't mean that it'll be a fun or easy process. The insolvency practitioner will be cutting any unnecessary expenses, so they'll be working out to the penny what can be paid back and what's out of bounds. So if you have a fancy phone contract or any other expensive subscriptions, you'll very likely be asked to drop them or move to pay as you go. The reason your practitioner is so meticulous is that it's the best way to get your creditors to agree to an IVA. Now you've got your payment plan worked out, you and your practitioner will work together to write a proposal for your creditors. It will need to include how you're going to pay back the debt, the amount that you'll be paying back, and the time frame. Normally with a payment plan, this is between 3 and 6 years. It will also include a full financial statement and the reasons you believe your creditors should agree to the IVA. Once it's been prepared, your practitioner will add their opinion to the report. They'll be honest about whether your plan will actually work over the next 3 to 6 years that you're going for. Your practitioner may suggest changes to the proposal if they believe the creditors may not accept it. They could also recommend to the court to reject your IVA proposal if you insist on adding terms that the practitioner disagrees with. So if you genuinely believe that an IVA is right for you, then working with your insolvency practitioner and listening to their advice is vital. You don't want to cause further headaches for yourself after all. Quick side note here, just to remind you that we are assuming that the IVA is right for you. The reality is that IVAs are not right for everybody. This video isn't an opinion on whether you should get one. It's meant to inform you of the process so you know what to expect if you are going down that route. Make sure you do your own research and make a decision yourself. We've put together some handy resources to make it easy for you, so check the links in the description to find out more. Finally, your practitioner will call all of your creditors to a meeting where they'll vote on whether to accept or reject your proposal. Normally it's a physical meeting held at your practitioner's office. I'd recommend that you attend so you can represent your own interests. If you can't attend physically, then you can always ask to attend online. During the meeting, creditors will suggest changes to the proposal, so it's really important that you're able to have your voice heard and that you understand everything that's being suggested. No changes can take place without your approval, so you need to hear their opinions and decide whether you're happy with the changes or not. If the majority of your creditors vote to accept the proposal, then it's reported to the court that your IVA is ready to start. One thing to note is that as long as the majority of the creditors agree to your proposal, then it will be accepted. Even if creditors voted against your proposal, they'll have to go along with it. Once your IVA has been agreed, you'll have 28 days to appeal the proposal. For example, if your circumstances change, you may no longer be able to afford what you agreed to, or you may be in a better position and not need the IVA. If you do appeal and the court agrees with your reason to appeal, then they'll either cancel the IVA altogether, or they'll arrange another creditor meeting so you can adjust the proposal. Of course, as I've mentioned multiple times through this guide, IVAs are not right for everybody, and if you do get one without being certain that it's a good move for you, then you could be making a very big mistake. There's so many debt solutions out there, and an IVA is just one of them, and it's only right for specific people in very specific circumstances. So with that in mind, if you do want to learn a bit more about other debt solutions and what might be right for you, I've got a little calculator linked in the description below. This will help you work out whether you qualify for any of these other debt solutions. After using the calculator, if you qualify for a debt solution, you'll be able to find out more through a qualified debt specialist. Once again, the link's in the description if you want to try that, or if you want to find out more about IVAs. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you want to continue learning more about finances and specifically about getting out of debt. And if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.